Hey there everybody, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Rama, and in today's video, I'll be breaking into my top 5 picks for the best sports cars in Grand Theft Auto Online. Sports cars are by far the most spread out category of vehicles. You have armored cars, you have speed demons, which are faster than even some of the fastest supercars. The sports category in general is very diluted with vehicles, and it can be tricky to pick which one you are going to get. So, in today's video, I'll be showcasing my favorites and why they are so good. That brings us to the 5th place vehicle for today's video, which is the Inverno Coquette D10. This is a car I've talked about quite a bit on the channel, and I've called it many times the fastest vehicle in Grand Theft Auto Online. Why? Well, on paper, this car goes around 130 miles per hour, which is fast, but it's definitely not as quick as some of the HSW vehicles that can go 160. So why do I then say that the Coquette D10 is the fastest car? You see, stats on paper can lie, and when it comes to the Coquette D10, that is 100% the case. You see, this vehicle has a glitch, and essentially the way the glitch works is whenever the vehicle drives over a slight speed bump, you can see that the tires are basically like inside of the vehicle's wheel arches. So what happens is the faster you go, the more the back end of your vehicle glitches into the tire, and when it touches the tire, it gives it a speed boost. So because of that, the Coquette basically has an infinite speed boost where you're just going to accelerate up to ridiculous speeds. Look at our speedometer. We're already going upwards of 140 miles per hour, almost 150 there for a moment. That is absolutely insane. In fact, right now we're just chilling. Oh, there you go, 150 now. Almost 160. I think you can start to see, sorry, 165. Yeah. The Coquette is an incredibly ridiculous vehicle in terms of maneuverability and speed. Problem is, its handling can be a bit sus, and trying to put on the brakes when you're going 160 miles per hour is not very easy, especially because this car is not meant to go 160. But if you're ever planning to go on long highway drives or to get from point A to B very quickly, in my opinion, the Coquette D10 is one of the best vehicles in the game. It is faster than HSW cars, it is faster than sports cars, it is the fastest car in the game. I mean, it can literally go the same speed as something like the Sparrow, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. But let's say that you want to trade a bit of top speed to have much better handling. How much better? Well, this is the Itali GTO, and it features the 3rd best handling in Grand Theft Auto Online for a sports car. The only vehicles that beat it out are HSW, and that's still pretty dang impressive that this is a non-HSW car keeping up with the alpha males of the pack. The GTO is not slow either. It goes 128 miles per hour and has ridiculously fast acceleration. But the main advantage of this vehicle is not only does it have great acceleration, but it also has very good handling, allowing it to get away with a lot of fantastic maneuvers. Overall, the GTO is amazing to look at, amazing to drive, and really has no downsides going for it. While I do love the Coquette, this is definitely a better choice for the overall category. Kind of reminds me of the Emrys or the Krieger in the Supers category, how both of those vehicles are kind of jack of all trades. They're fast, they got handling, and they're very fun to drive. Well, that is the exact same case for the Itali GTO. It's definitely a bit slippy on the grip. If you apply too much power when you're rolling around a corner, you can definitely lose some grip, as we can see. But if you know how to handle it well, this is an absolutely amazing vehicle, and I would definitely recommend to pick it up. That brings us to a car that a lot of you probably know quite a bit about if you've been playing GTA for a while, and that is the Ocelot Pariah. When the Pariah was first added into the game, no HSW vehicles existed, and this was by far the fastest sports car in the game. In fact, it was so fast that it even beat out a lot of the supercars category. For example, the Pariah can reach a top speed of 136 miles per hour, and that's not using any glitches like the Coquette D10. So because of that, this vehicle is insanely quick. In fact, it is the 6th fastest even when you add in all the HSW cars, which is pretty dang impressive. It also features the 6th best lap time with all the HSW cars added in, so it's got good handling, and it's got an absolutely fantastic top speed. This is essentially your counterpart to the Itali GTO. The GTO has a bit more handling than the Pariah, but it's a bit slower, where the Pariah is a lot faster, but has a bit worse handling. it's kind of a little bit of a slide on each end. Personally, I like the Pariah more, just because this vehicle, first of all, sounds absolutely amazing, but still has enough handling to get the job done, while featuring that much better top speed for the majority of long-distance driving. But I can definitely tell you that both of them are great cars, and it really depends on what you're going for. Do you want handling, or do you want top speed? But I should mention that the Pariah doesn't have bad handling, and the GTO doesn't have bad top speed. It's just whether you want really good handling or really, really good top speed. So, we've talked about top speed, we've talked about handling, and we've talked about a little bit intertwined. Well, we're going to keep talking about that, but we're also now going to be breaking into the special vehicles category. These two final cars are incredible, not just because of their handling and overall performance, but also because they feature either armor, weaponry, or some sort of capability. So, in the number 2 slot, we have the Itali GTO Stinger TT. It's a not only amazing looking sports car that has fantastic liveries and customization going for it, but it's also incredibly fast. If you have the HSW version of this vehicle, well, it can go 168 miles per hour. You heard that right, 168 miles per hour. The Coquette D10 we were struggling to drive at 150, 160, and this vehicle goes even faster. To be fair, that just was me sucking driving right there, but yeah, this vehicle, it's fast, and you're not going to beat it in any other car in the game. This is the fastest vehicle in the game with HSW upgrades. But even if you don't have the HSW and you're playing on PC or old generation console, well, it's still fast at 131. So either way, you're getting a really fast car. Oh, and should I mention that it has a Monitech upgrades, which means that it can survive upwards of 4 sticky bombs, 10 homing missiles, and, oh, it has a homing lock-on jammer, meaning that you can't even home on it to begin with. So you're basically never going to die while driving this car. It also features slick mines, which you can see me dropping on the road here. Slick mines, they're not anything incredible or crazy, but they will still stop somebody from chasing you. But as you can see, they're not really that big of a deal. Either way, the Itali GTO Stinger TT is insane. It features the second best lap time out of all the sports cars in the game, the highest top speed, and ridiculous Amani tech capabilities, allowing it to survive basically anything thrown at it. So when you add all these things together, it's no wonder why it makes it so high in today's list. Let's get into the number 1 slot. And that would be this, the Future Shock ZR380. First of all, I think this is an incredibly underrated vehicle on its looks. I think that this is one of the coolest looking sports cars in the game. It's obviously based off of a Japanese JDM, sort of like a Nissan Fairlady, but it just looks really cool. I actually love the design of this car. And it gets better, because this is an Arena War vehicle. And while Arena War is kind of memed on, you can't discount this one vehicle's capabilities. First of all, it features bulletproof glass, and I mean completely bulletproof. If you try shooting through the front of this car, as we can see, these bullets are completely stopped. It's just like an armored Kuruma. Now yes, the sides are a weak spot, and actually so is the rear. A lot of people don't realize this, but you can shoot right through that glass. However, the spoiler does count as a hitbox, and it basically makes it impossible to shoot you through the rear. And when you pair that with the fact that the front of this vehicle is literally impervious, then yeah, it's a pretty hard vehicle to actually deal with. Oh, and if I press the A button on my remote, I get a rocket boost, allowing this car to go over 140 miles per hour. So it can go just as fast as an Ocelot Pariah, and while it may not feature the handling, it more than enough makes up for it in the armor department. Plus, if you don't want to make your car stylish, you can turn it into this. Honest, I still think this looks really stylish, but you can see we've added a plow to the front of our car. And why is this plow important? Well, because it pushes cars out of your way. Sometimes Rockstar does a really bad job at adding, pushing objects, but as we can see, this one actually works, and it works quite well. You're not going to have to worry about cars getting in your way. Even if you're driving very fast, like at your top speed, well, you're just going to flip cars out of your way, no problem. Yeet? Yeah. So it's really fun. There's a lot of different weapons you can put on the front of this car. You can put front-mounted machine guns. I just don't really care for them. But yeah, you got the rocket boost, you got machine guns, and you've got a plow, which, pushes just about every car out of your way, which is really fun. And when you pair that with the fact that this can also survive 3 explosions, being homing missiles, sticky bombs, or whatever is fired at you, then yeah, I actually think that the ZR380 is an incredibly underrated and fantastic sports car. The only real downside is that its handling isn't anything amazing. You're definitely going to be struggling getting used to this car. It's not hard. Like, if you know how to drive it properly, it's not too bad to deal with, but it's very slippery, and because of that, it can be a little bit challenging for anybody that hasn't gotten used to it. Either way, these are my 5 picks for the best sports cars in Grand Theft Auto Online. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments down below. At the end of the day, it's obviously my opinion, so let me know. But I think these are definitely my picks. I love the ZR380, and if I could only have one sports car, this would definitely be it. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.